Alright, so it's been 2 more hours. We got all the feeding and milking and everything done. And Lacey still has no ligaments whatsoever. But you guys saw when we first came out here last night how right on top of us she was, how vocal she was, and just wanting pet. Now she's kind of back to the same thing. And I'm wondering if it's because she's potentially dilated to 10. So my goat mentor, the woman I've been telling you about that's been helping me through this, she was saying, and I'm going to have to read up on it a little bit, but she was saying if the vaginal wall isn't pushing up against the cervix, potentially it's not going to set her into contractions, painful contractions, which then would eventually make her push the kids out. So she had just made a reference, you might have to go in and check just to make sure, because if she gets dilated, you're going to need to go in and get the kids. So I don't know if that's the scenario or what, but Derek has to go get the grandbaby here in just a minute. And so we're going to have her. So I'm going to, before I do anything, I'm going to make sure Derek is home with me. But, while he's gone, I'm going to do some research. Wanted me right there, and she's not that type of goat, but when she goes into labor, she doesn't, you know what I mean? She wants pet, she wants you right there kind of thing. So she did that for a good few hours. Okay. Yeah, I go in and it's like you can feel like the little opening. Yeah. Well, look who Grandma found. Iris is really interested in all these goaties. Can you say hi? See, look how big I'm getting. Look at me. She's walking all around. So we're out here checking on Lacey, and I did just check her. I actually went in to see if she's been if she dilated at all, and she has not dilated. So I got a little nervous about that because obviously it's been through the night and whatnot. So I called my mentor, and she says just wait it out. Maybe around 9 or 10 o'clock tonight typically is when the lutealize, from the time you give it, around 31 hours, she says. It's like clockwork for her goats, but she does raise Saanens, so it could be a little bit different. And like I said, just depending on how close they were about to kid and things like that. So, Lacey. She's really not showing any signs of hard contractions or anything still. So as I mentioned to you guys last night, I was trying to explain it, how I felt like the bubble coming out of her, if you will, the prolapse, it was on top. It wasn't coming, it didn't seem like it was a vagina or a uterus or anything. So when I checked her again, and I was talking this through with my mentor, when I checked her again this morning, the sac, the bubble that's coming out, it is absolutely on top. And also, I felt goat berries in there. Like, I felt the poop. You know, the membrane between, in the anus membrane and between the vagina, it's very, very, very thin. So, anyway, talking it out with my mentor and everything, and she's agreeing, like, okay, well, this may just be a rectal prolapse, which would be a lot better, obviously. And I think that's what we're dealing with. Just so many kids in there and pushing them out, so, or, you know, putting so much pressure on her. Poor girl. But anyway, just so much pressure from all of those kids that's what's creating it. That's what's causing it. So the good news is a rectal prolapse obviously isn't going to interfere with the babies coming out, unless when she's pushing, I might have to get it out of the way, which would be a lot easier than a uterus or a vagina being prolapsed. So I'm feeling really good about that news, or that finding, if you will. And yeah, my mentor says that is way better of a scenario, and she could very well just have these kids, you know, fine, obviously still some assistance, but not as scary as we first initially thought. So I'm feeling really, really relieved. Again, she's not pushing, no slime, no hard contractions, anything like that. She's definitely miserable, but I'm just feeling like we're really going to get through this, knowing that it's a rectal now. The reason I didn't think it was rectal is because it was coming out of her vagina, but again, it's just those membranes so weak and putting all those kids putting so much pressure. So it's better news. It's better news. It's not ideal by any means, but it is absolutely better news. So we're just gonna continue to keep a really, really close eye on her and keep you guys posted. Who's that pretty girl? Who's that pretty girl? She was all giggles and smiles, and now she's just fascinated by this camera, huh? Yeah? You want to say hi? Hi. Hi. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, pretty girl. Love you. How's it going, girl? What do we got back there? It's not really pooched out nearly as much as it is. I don't know if you guys can see that. She might be acting like she's having mild contractions now. It's almost 4 o'clock. She's probably pooping. Is that a contraction or poop? You're talking. Good girl. So, because the prolapse isn't coming out of her anus as of now, hopefully when she starts pushing it doesn't, if I can help keep it in, you know, once she doesn't have this overload of kids, we won't have an issue and it'll just be fine. But just gonna have to see. But she's acting like she's having contractions now, so this is good. This is really good. So if it is like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock for the 31 to 32 hours, I'm at least seeing a change here. So this is good. Contractions set off dilation. So let's go. We're gonna get through it, girl, okay? Please just don't have 2 giant kids in there. Another thing that may happen when you induce labor is the kids weren't necessarily ready to be positioned properly. So hopefully that's not the case. But that's something I also need to be prepared for. Cross fingers that's not the case. I think this is going to be hard enough on her as it is. It looks like a contraction. Good, mama. Okay, so just gonna continue to keep a close eye. you bottle feeding? The baby got Baba? What doing? Who's that? Who's that pretty girl? Cutie. Oh, the baby. He'll nibble your fingers. No, nice.
I think these two are hungry, babe.
Yeah, they eat first and then they want more.
I think they want more.
That guy thinks your finger's a nipple. She's like, no. You're good in your mouth.
As tall as that is, that wire's those are 4 inches tall. So her mouth is at about 9 inches.
Oh. She's tiny.
Oh, you are good. Oh God, you can eat anything.
What's going on? Alright guys, we just got done choring. It is about 6:30, and I checked her to make sure she's dilated, and when I did, I felt the baby. And she's also got slime. She did not have slime until I checked her. But this is going to be soon, and you can see hard contractions. Yeah, so I'm going to go get a jacket on real quick, and we're going to be out here, get our lights, and I think it's go time. So as long as she is allowed, or as long as she can push them out on her own, we're good. So cross fingers, guys. I think we're gonna be okay.